Delaying gratification is probably one of the hardest things to do in self-improvement. And I'm speaking from experience, brother. Like, even on this journey now, it's not easy. It doesn't come to me easy like you think it does. But I've developed tactics and ways to make it easier, but it's not like it's all perfect. That's the thing. Many people, I would say, on YouTube or self-improvement creators, you think their life is so perfect, but you have to understand that they still do every single day face challenges. They don't want to do the hard stuff. They don't want to face the hard thing. They do it anyway, right? But they still don't want to do it. There's that friction and resistance. Maybe it gets better over time, but it's still there because you have to understand that as human beings, we're drawn to comfort. We're drawn to do the easy stuff. It's very easy for us to scroll on Instagram. It's very easy for us to just eat the junk food because your brain doesn't like it when there's a big gap between action and reward, right? Think about going to the gym. There's a big gap, right? Maybe you get a quick pump, you go to the gym, but in actuality, it takes you months to build that physique. It takes you weeks to look stronger, to actually look at yourself in the mirror and be like, yeah, whoa, I've made some progress. It's cool. So your brain's fallback position is always going to be comfort. And we can't change that. Even if you think my life is perfect. No, I'm telling you, bro. It's not. My brain is still the same brain that you got, right? It still wants to do the easy stuff. I still have to fight with it. I still have to try to rule over it and not let it rule me. But I have to be more conscious of it, and I am. And I'm doing things that I want to share with you that really has helped me through my journey. And so if you don't take charge of your own mind, it's going to take charge of you. So it's very important to be aware that maybe the reason why you can't do the delayed gratification activities is not because of your environment or your friends or blame some other thing. It's you. So I really think that responsibility, self-responsibility is very important here. So understand that it is your responsibility to take control and do more delayed gratification activities if you haven't. So how do we actually make delayed gratification activities easier? That's what this video is. It's helping you to do the hard stuff, right? Hamza says, do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. It's great advice. But what are some things you can do, maybe things that you don't hear often, that people don't tell you, that you can do to make it easier, right? I'm not going to say go meditate, because you know you need to do that. So I want to give you some tips. So number one, the first thing I want to help you with, and I want you to think about this. So let's take person number A. Person number A struggles with delaying gratification. But once in a while, let's call him John, he's able to delay gratification. He's able to go to the gym once in a while, right? It's great. Very proud of John. John is able to read a book maybe once a week. But then he stops, right? John just stops reading the book, or he stops working out consistently just once a week. And John wonders why. Why is this the case? There's person B. We're going to call him Jacob. I'm laughing because there's someone in my Discord called Jacob. What's up, bro? So Jacob delays gratification. And Jacob, so this is actually Jacob's story. What Jacob does is he worked out once. He struggled, right? He also struggled to delay gratification, at first at least. But he worked out once, and what he did was he reinforced that behavior. Now, how did he reinforce that behavior? We're getting into that next. But every time he reinforced that behavior, he made it easier for himself to show up. And over time, it got easy. It literally got easy to work out and show up at the gym. So, over the course of a year, Jacob has shown up to around 200 workouts. While John, at first, he goes once a week, once every other week. So that's the difference between reinforcing a positive behavior and just forgetting that this even exists. You have to really use your brain and take control over it. And I want to talk to you about reinforcing positive behaviors because it is interesting. So what you can do is, whenever I do this very often now, whenever I struggle with delaying gratification, and I show up, right? Just like John, he showed up at the gym. After that session, for example, I stop literally for 1 to 2 minutes, and I appreciate myself. I appreciate the moment. This sounds difficult to explain, but let me try to explain it as best as I can. I literally stop for a minute or two, and I fill my brain with just positive thoughts regarding actually doing that delayed gratification activity. So I'll stop myself and be like, whoa, more, you showed up. Good job. And I know this sounds cringy maybe to you, but you don't actually have to say this out loud. You say this to yourself, in your thoughts, etc. But the point is that you actually stop. You stop in the day for a minute or two, which is not a long time, right? Admit it's not a long time. But you pause for a minute or two, and you appreciate the delayed gratification. You appreciate the fact that you just did it. Not the activity. But you appreciate and stop to actually reflect on how good you are. That, yeah, I showed up. That's sick. You haven't showed up for a week, but now you've worked out. Good shit, more. Good shit. So just a minute or two of that, just hyping yourself up in your mind, and maybe even whisper to yourself in your own room. Do whatever you want, whatever works. But for me, is I just pause. I just look at a wall and I pause and reflect, and I just hype myself up. Bro, you just recorded a YouTube video. That's sick. You haven't done it in 2 days. That's sick. Stuff like that, I think it goes a long way, because that positively reinforces that behavior. And you get the influx of dopamine, right? When you just pause and reflect and forcefully, try to push that dopamine, right? You even smile if you want to. Just smile, do whatever you want. But appreciate the fact that you did that delayed gratification activity. And honestly, this works wonders for me, especially when I start struggling with doing a hard thing. Just, John, I told you, he didn't stop and reflect. He didn't stop and appreciate that he just worked out. That's why he lost it, right? It wasn't easy for him. So really count your wins. And that's what it's all about. Count your wins. Pause for a minute or two every time you do a delayed gratification activity. And push dopamine in your brain. Just be like, yo, this is fucking sick, man. I can't believe I did this. I haven't worked out in a week. I haven't started working on my business yet, and now I did. So it goes a long way. I don't know about the science of this, but personally, bro, it has worked wonders. It just positively reinforces that behavior. So that's great. Another thing I want to talk to you about this is tip number 2. So this is actually a mindset shift, and it's a mindset shift for life. It's not like I'm giving you random tips and tricks. These are timeless. These are going to work for your whole life, basically. So this is actually important, so pay attention. What I want you to do is completely reframe how you see delaying gratification, how you see, working on your business, how you see working on whatever you struggle with, whatever delayed gratification activity you struggle with. Maybe it's doing the work, maybe it's studying, maybe it's reading, maybe it's meditating, it's journaling, whatever it is. I want you to completely reframe how it is. Don't see it as something that you have to do. You see it right now as something that you're forced to do, right? Because this person, Hamza, said to do this. Or my teacher said to study. Or this guy told me to read a book. Or this YouTuber told me, whatever. You see it as almost forced. I need to do this. Shit, I have to work out. I need to, in a bad negative way. Maybe you're not even conscious of it. But you have that in you. And I do this many times, so I need to catch myself as well. You feel like it's almost forced, like your mom tells you to take out the trash. It feels very forced, like you have to do it. And you don't have to do anything. And that is really what I want to tell you. I want you to completely reframe it. Instead of something that you have to do, see as an opportunity, right? I get to do this. I get to work out. I get to do the hard work. I get to study. Because think about how many people don't get to do that. It's an opportunity, right? Stop seeing it as a negative thing. Like, shit, I need to work on this business. Fuck. Fuck. No, bro, I get to do this. I get to work on my business. I get to record this video. I get to work out because also think about how many people don't get that opportunity. You're here complaining that you can't do the hard work, but there's someone out there that can't even work out. And let me actually give you a story. This is actually crazy. A week ago, I literally saw a guy in a wheelchair working out. And he can't stand up. He was doing like arm exercises with this guy who was helping him. But just think about that. Like, you're out here complaining that, oh shit, like I gotta work out. Fuck. And there's this guy in a fucking wheelchair like working out. So what excuse do you have? Literally, this is what I want to get to. What excuse do you have that you can't work out? He probably sees it as an amazing thing because, damn, he could still move his arms. Maybe he can't move his legs, but he can still do something with his arms. So he gets to do this. It's an opportunity. It's a great thing. So really, it's a big mindset shift in your life. And this applies in so many places, but specifically delaying gratification. You don't have to do anything, bro. Like, you don't have to be on self-improvement. You literally don't. But you get to. You get to because there are people out there who can't even be on self-improvement. Like, they literally can't. They can't read. They can't work out. They can't meditate. They can't, I don't know. People out there can't do a lot of things, but you get to do it. You choose. It's a choice. It's not, mom told me to do this. John told me to do this. You're not forced to do anything. This is really the biggest mindset shift that will make life easier. Bro, it's an amazing opportunity that you get to watch this video, that you get to delay gratification. So, just my 2 cents. It's a big mindset shift that really changed my life, and I hope it does to you as well. Think about it, journal about it. You know, I think it is really big. So, bro, I hope these 2 points helped you. I hope you like this unfiltered kind of way. And yeah, brother, I'll see you next time. Peace out.